My friends, the rise of the authoritarian left is the central challenge of our time. We saw it when they rammed Obamacare down our throats, and we see it again this summer with Antifa rioting and cracking heads in the streets. On another front, the ACLU is suing a Catholic hospital to force it to perform transgender surgery against its beliefs. Nothing against transgender people, but the authoritarian left is using them to come after your religious liberty. If the authoritarian left gets a hold of the reins of power, we will no longer be a free people. My friends, this is why the Constitution is important. It's worth fighting for. It's worth dying for. We are still a free people, in no small part because of the Constitution. We govern ourselves. We don't have a king or a tiny elite ruling over us. We have popular sovereignty, thanks to the Constitution. We have the rule of law in this country. We are not governed by the whims of a tyrant or a small group of masterminds, thanks to the Constitution. We have individual rights. We are free to speak our minds. We have the right to bear arms, which shall not be infringed, thanks to protections in the Constitution. Our rights don't come from government. We are born with these rights. The truth of the matter is that government's rights come from us, thanks to the Constitution. We have limited government with powers derived from the consent of the governed, thanks to the Constitution. Not so in the autonomous zones in Seattle and elsewhere this summer. There, power grew out of the barrel of a gun, just like Chairman Mao said. There was no rule of law, no consent of the governed, no elections, no guaranteed rights. The individual was not protected, just like communism. Self-appointed warlords carrying assault rifles told everybody what to do, just like the Soviet communists did in Ukraine when they were stealing all the grain in the Holodomor famine of the 1930s that killed millions. The concentration of power in the hands of a few is exactly what the founders warned us about. You put too much power in the hands of too few people and bad things happen. You put too much power in the hands of too few people and pretty soon 100 million people are dead, just like under communism. Too much power got in the hands of too few people in Seattle's autonomous zone, and people got shot. One died, one too many. That wasn't limited government. That was might makes right. And its inevitable result when the rule of law breaks down and raw naked power is the only game in town. At a basic level, the dispersal of power is what the Constitution is all about. That's why there are checks and balances, separation of powers in the three branches of government, and powers divided between Washington and the states under federalism in the 10th Amendment. The whole point is to divide up power in as many ways as possible so the few can't take over everything and the many are left in peace to enjoy their liberty and their natural rights. This is why the authoritarian left hates the Constitution so much. The Constitution is in their way. The Constitution stands between them and what they want to do to you. This is why they want to interpret it out of existence or get rid of it altogether. The Constitution prevents them from seizing all power and imposing their will on us. The Constitution, with its Bill of Rights, is what stands between you and AOC, the Squad, the self-declared socialist Bernie Sanders, and the Antifa goons whose roots are in communism, and the admitted trained Marxists of Black Lives Matter. My friends, the authoritarian left is coming for you and your rights. Will you be ready? We will all have to be ready if we are to prevail and remain a free people.